Okay, so stream should be on. I don't know what's happening with it right now. I'm gonna refresh. Oh, I'll be refreshing right now. Yeah. What?
Go to an arcade and record us playing on a Neo Geo cabinet.
Oh. Huh. Yes.
That'd be fun.
So how's the stream going for you guys? You guys getting a good feed? You see me switching between that and this? Huh? You gotta hit refresh. Yeah. Yep. Hey, real quick, Ramses, can you be quiet for just a quick sec? I want to hear something on the stream. What? Damn it. Hey, well, I can hear my comment, that's for sure. You should. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Hey. Well, it's kind of hard because because I'm streaming off the Wii U, so I can't get on Skype, and I don't know how it's very well working. So I'm gonna close Skype on here. We already closed it. I closed it. Anyways. Are you guys still there? No? Yes? No? Okay, charger. Like what?
very angry Pokemon when they get launched out.
Wow.
Okay, I'm back.
Hey, Miguel.
Yep, there we go.
Nintendo has made $1 billion on Amiibo sales alone.
Oh, that's something we gotta talk about next show, but Becky just found out that Nintendo made about $1 billion in just Amiibo sales.
What?
Yeah.
That is a lot of Skrilla. I blame toy-obsessed people like Ramses. Shut up.
Here they sold
No, I totally would. If I had the money to throw away, or if I had a Wii U, I would totally have like 5 or 6 of them already.
Yeah.
I might get one soon.
yeah.
I almost want to buy them just to have them. Like, I might just ask for Christmas, like, hey, give me some Amiibos. Can you use them on your DS? Nope. I just want to have that Link one. Yes. I wanted Marth, and then they like made his face melt. And I was like, no. Like, which one did you want? I wanted Marth before his face melted. I want Link just because I think it looks cool. Nice little action pose and stuff. All right. I wanted. You can only see my face right now. Yeah. And then it's like whenever you look at Peach, you just literally you see my face. I'm trying to think of who else was on that early. Oh, Samus, just because Metroid's a huge part of my childhood. That's the reason Metroid 2 is the first French review I did.
Awesome.
Because that was the first Metroid game I ever owned. I played Metroid 1 beforehand. We just rented it a bunch.
All right,
And then
we're back.
Metroid 2 was like a birthday present, and I loved it,
Guys,
except
audio, we're commenting.
my older
Audio's being
certain bosses.
recorded on
Whatever.
Skype. Of a
Metroid being single digits.
We're on the live stream. It's playing. I'm gonna play it right now. Ramses, if you can do that Twitter thing again, just to make sure it's saying, hey, after some technical stuff, we're back on the air. Get back here and watch.
Okay, sorry, hold on.
Yep.
Hashtag is technical. Right. Alright. The problem is, I think when it comes to Genesis games I want to review, is I'd rather do like a review of Phantasy Star, because it's an RPG and a lot to try to cover.
Alright.
And Phantasy Star 1, I'm not a huge fan of.
Time to start.
Alien Soldier. But like if I do Phantasy Star 3, it's a multi-generational game, and it's really difficult to talk about the plot without doing massive amounts of spoilers. Oh, sorry. Classic Tecmo though, that brings you back, that makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Classic Tecmo. Between this and Super Bowl, you know, it's like the two games everyone knew. Well, Ninja Gaiden. Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden. Frickin' Ninja Gaiden. There's certain games, I was thinking about that, like this bonus stage ends up using remakes from the Terminator 2 NES game, and I'm like, I will never have another chance to play this mix, because I'm never going to review that game. Just no. Well, it's like that game, but awesome music. Yes.
Whoops.
It's one of...
I didn't pay attention and I died.
No, I'm just getting the little story screen here. Let's fight! Let's fight! That's a very better way of starting your game. Anyways, keep going. So it's one of those things where there's certain games where I'm not gonna... You know, if you want to watch someone yell about how bad certain games are, I mean, that's what Angry Video Game Nerd is here for. And a handful of other reviewers who do that kind of stuff, and like, look at this terrible game on the NES or the Genesis or whatever. There's people who do that. I'm mostly trying to pick away from either my childhood or just old school stuff that, you know, is available via Virtual Console. Sega, I know, has released several, you know, like, I'm almost considering maybe covering one of those Dreamcast games after a certain point, you know, not Crazy Taxi, but maybe Space Channel 5 or Sonic Adventure. Stuff like that where you can actually get a hold of it. I know that I did Snow Brothers, which I don't think has had a re-release, and Goonies, which you're never gonna find. But my general idea with doing some of these... Man, you died fast. My general idea... Very better way of dying. My general idea with the whole retro things is to do stuff that people can get. So if they're retro gamers like me, like, oh, I can grab, you know, Phantasy Star 2 on Steam. I'm like, yes, I can grab Phantasy Star 2 on Steam. and you can get it as part of the Sega collection, and you can get it on Xbox. I don't think Sega released any of their Genesis games on. Well, I think you can also get it on Wii, I think. So things like that, where that would be the overall kind of thing. So the fact that, you know, right now for Rygar, I mean, you can get this on the Wii U because you're playing it on the Wii U, and Wii, for that matter.
Well, Wii.
And,
I don't know if it's available
yes.
on the Wii U Virtual Console, but you can get it off since the Wii U can emulate Wii, you can pretty much pretty much get it like that. I wish I had access to the chat so I could see people on there if I can answer questions if they want to ask me.
No, they're not. Yeah. Ramsey's will let you know. That's Ramsey's job right now.
Yeah.
I am the social media manager. But you know, it's one of those things where it's kind of cool to be able to have something different where we can talk about it. Plus, I can have someone else do the review for once. Yeah, just make sure I can have the video and the audio by ideally Tuesday night, so I can make I do all the editing on Wednesday like I'm supposed to, as opposed to this week where real life just got in the way. But if I don't have to review anything, if I just have to, you know, cut some footage to go along with what you're talking about, then that just saves me a good extra couple hours of work there, so that would be nice. Well, one thing I like about these streams is like, even though it's a little bit more relaxed, I feel a little bit more motivated to keep playing a game, because like I'm riffing with someone with a game. Yeah. Well, if you're doing like a Ramsey's project thing, just, you know, like I said before, let me know, and I can riff along with you. Yeah, I mean, it's also not like I'm in the middle of doing something else, but it's like, hey Jared, I'm streaming. I'm like, that's great! I'm working on the final chapter of my book, so give me a couple hours. That's fine. That's why I don't want to bother. And it's like sometimes too when I don't want, like when I don't like that lag. Yeah. It's like that's the thing that kills me a lot. It's like, oh my god, we gotta deal with this lag, especially with a game like there's a part of me that wants to continue playing Deadly Premonition with you right there. I mean, for that, for the most part, you're not gonna need me for. My advice is more of where to go and like, oh, let's go redo chapter 2 again so we can collect these items and stuff like that. I mean, that's more my advice to be more useful. Well, that's not advice. It's just, I need someone to be there with me. It's like I can only function as like for me, the only way I can function to play a game, like if I'm trying to do like a live stream, is if I have someone else with me play it. I know it's kind of weird, but it's like no, I get that. Look, when I live stream, it's going to be really strange rolling solo because while I can make commentary and stuff, I know from gaming that like most of my commentary is me swearing when I die. Yeah. Well, we know that we kind of already figured that out when we heard you play Sonic Boom, Lost Crystal or whatever. So yes, that's the problem with me. Is my commentary? It's one of those ones where it's a lot easier to make commentary when I'm watching someone else's stream, or on certain games. Like if I had live streamed Sanitarium when I was reviewing that for the Halloween things, after certain lines of dialogue, I would have made some sort of snarky Mystery Science Theater type response because that gives me time. And it's not like it's a point and click game. I'm not running around, you know, collecting rings or shooting lasers or whatever. There's certain games that more allow themselves that kind of stuff. And there's other games that just make me pull out one of my favorite insults of all time from The Thing, which is the famous loses as cheating son of a bitch. It's just cheating bitch is the line. It's cheating bitch. He dumps the beer, cheating bitch. And I'm like, there's so many games I've played where I lose in a really cheap way. I'm like, cheating bitch. And so it's become one of my video game lines ever since I saw that movie. I don't know how young I was when I saw the movie, but whenever I saw it, it became the thing. And my parents weren't like watching me game. So I want to say, Miguel. Yeah. Question: Can you shoot dip switches in this game?
Disc switches? No.
You can't?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's interesting. It's like, you know, I can see you're constantly dying. I think you need to like take it down a notch. And the Rygar guy is doing his best Michael Jackson
impression.
Yeah.
Shimon! It's kind of one of the cooler weapons, I'd say. First side-scrolling game is this cool little, little chainsaw. You know what it reminds me of? Well, I don't know if you guys see this. In the movie Octopussy, there's a guy who has this weird, throwing blade thing, and I'm like, it always reminded me of that throwing blade thing from Octopussy. Terrible movie, but cool weapon on that villain.
I was gonna say that in Saint Seiya, there's a character that uses a weapon like that, and it's like it's awesome when he uses it.
Yeah, that's the one thing about mangas or even animes in general. Is you can have weapons that are completely illogical but make them awesome. And that's one of the things I always gave points to Bleach for. Because some of the weapons are really stupid, but he found a way to put them to good use, and I always dug that.
Yeah, so it's like a weapon like this would not make this weapon makes sense, a lot of sense when you see it in action. But when the Japanese do it, they do it awesome. They do it even more awesome than everything.
Well, it's one of those things where I always thought about that. I'm like, I love RPGs, but you can only see so many swords and axes, and it's the same weapons over and over again. And I'm like, if I ever made my own. For example, let's go to Phantasy Star. One of the things I liked about Phantasy Star is certain characters could use guns. Certain characters had slicers, which are basically like bladed boomerangs. One of the games has an archer. Staves sometimes show up. You had a variety of weapons. It never entirely made sense why only certain people could use certain things, except for like in 3 and 4 did a good excuse for why the cyborgs could use the weapons, because the weapons were part of their internal systems. So they just didn't. No one got around to making like a gun that a normal person could hold because technology got all effed up for story reasons that are spoilers. But the cyborgs from the past could install the weapons, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. They could install the stuff into their bodies, and that's why it works for them. Versus, your main characters can't install parts into their bodies because they're humans, or well, not always humans, but for the most part, humans. And I like that. I like having that excuse for why. In Phantasy Star 2, it made almost no sense. Like, wait, why can my main character not use a gun? And why can't anyone else use a gun? But you have this monster hunter guy who's the one guy who can use guns. Like, what? My main character is an agent. He works for this elite, problem-solving. He's basically, I don't know, space FBI, for lack of a better similar something. So he's space FBI, but all he knows how to use is a sword? Your training program sucks! That gun, that is too complicated for me. I use a good old-fashioned sword.
But wait a minute, it's like, you have to still aim the thing and pray to God it works. Wouldn't it technically be more complicated to use a gun? Like, use a sword, and just shoot you in the head?
I want to explain to you that in Phantasy Star 2, they have a machine that controls the weather. In Phantasy Star 2, they have laboratories that can create monsters or, can mass-produce food and stuff like that, but they're being used, the biolabs are being used to create monsters for reasons you have to investigate as part of Space FBI. So you have obviously advanced technology, so the fact that you have a sword wielder and a gun wielder on the same team makes absolutely no sense to me, because they never give it an explanation. At least in the newest Star Ocean,
Portable?
What?
Portable?
No, not Portable. No, the Star Ocean before that. Shoot, the one from PlayStation 3. God, I have a copy of it, I just can't find it right now.
Oh my god, I can't remember it either. Star Ocean,
Oh,
Star Ocean? Oh my god, hold on! Oh my god, I thought you were talking about from Phantasy Star.
No, I was talking Phantasy Star, but I want to use Star Ocean as an example here for
Star Ocean, The End of Time?
I think it's The Last Hope, is the one I'm
Yeah.
The End of Time was the bad one. The Last Hope was actually pretty good. Last Hope actually explains why they're using the weapons they're using, and it's because the monsters they come across initially, they're shooting their guns at, and the guns are doing nothing to these monsters. Because for some reason they're absorbing the energy of the energy weapons. So then the main guy's like, well, I have this sparring sword, and attacks one of them and kills them. And then the girl's like, well, I took archery classes in the academy, I'll bring out my bow. And the reason why is the energy weapons are being absorbed by the various monsters they're coming across. The aliens are absorbing energy, so energy weapons not particularly effective against these aliens. Boom! sudden explanation as to why we can't use our laser guns. That's all it requires. It's done in like the first cutscene when you exit the ship and enter this new planet. Is the bug monster things attacking people? They're shooting their lasers. They're just absorbing it. And then he pulls out his sword and like cuts off one of their legs and then stabs it in the head. And I'm like, thank you. That's all you needed to do. Now for the rest of this game, I will never question why I'm not running around with a laser rifle. Why am I not going Master Chief on these guys? Why am I not Doom? Oh, why am I not Doom Marine? I want to use a chainsaw. Why isn't there a character with a chainsaw in Star Ocean? But my point is, they explain that. There is no explanation in Phantasy Star, the later ones, to explain the whole cyborg thing. 2 has no explanation as to why they have guns, but only one dude can use them. I mean, if every character could use them, but maybe guns had, you need to have a high accuracy stat for it to be effective, and this guy has the best accuracy stat in the game, then I'd be okay, well then it's a personal choice as to what you want to use, because your main character might not have the best accuracy stat. So you want to use the sword, which, will compensate for that, while a gun will not. I would be fine with that. I'd be like, okay, that allows me as a player to choose my playstyle. And look, I know, I'm making commentary on an RPG from 1990 that it was just like, hey, every character will have their own weapon except for the handful of characters that use the same weapons. The scientist and the nurse use the same weapons. The thief and the engineer, I think, use the same weapons as well. Hell, the nurse and the thief have the exact same character design except for different colored hair. So obviously the game had, its own little flaws in that category, but for any game that has guns, here's another example. Final Fantasy VII has no explanation as to why Barret is the only member of your team that uses guns. There's bad guys that use guns. Why is no one else using... Tifa is punching robots in the face. I'm just pointing this out. There's robot enemies and giant stone monsters, and she's punching them. Wouldn't your machine gun be so much more useful? And what was that?
She has materia as well, so I'm pretty sure it's...
Yeah, you have the materia as well, but there's no explanation for why anyone other than Barret doesn't use a gun. And maybe I'm overthinking RPGs, but it's just one of those little things that gets to me, where I'm like, there's no explanation for that.
For so long.
I understand in Final Fantasy VI, where the only person who has anything that's even remotely similar to a gun is Edgar, because of his weird tools, and that's Figaro's whole deal, is they're kind of technologically advanced. But I'm fine with that, because they're not something you can buy at every corner store. And even his guns aren't really guns, per se. He has, like, the Bioblaster, which sprays poison, and he has the auto crossbow, which, again, is a crossbow with a freaking little engine in it, so you can fire off multiple shots.
But he also has a chainsaw.
Yeah, but he also has a chainsaw and a drill, So it's one of those things where I'm like, okay, it makes sense that he would have this kind of stuff because his nation is like this, and it's not... You go to Narsh, or you go to Thamasa, or you go to... hell, even the Empire, like most of their towns are fairly low rents, and only the capital really seems to have any kind of advanced technology, and they're kind of steampunkish there. They're not really using guns or anything like that. Their troops have Magitech gear. And that's not a common thing you're going to find at every corner store and around the world. So I get that. See, that one made sense for why we have certain technology, but only certain countries have it. Perfectly fine with that. Perfectly fine. That's kind of, I guess, where I'm coming from in my point of view, is if you're going to put certain kinds of weapons in your game, explain why only certain characters can use them. Now, I understand for if you're doing your standard RPG, like, oh, the swordsman uses the sword, the guard class uses a spear, the archer class uses a bow, because you could reasonably say, okay, dude was trained with a fire emblem. Great example here. Why can't the Myrmidon use a bow? He was never trained to use a bow. He never took the time. He was busy learning how to become a good sword fighter. So that one makes sense to me. Why characters can, and then certain characters when they class up can use certain weapons because now they've gained enough experience where they would kind of maybe have a better working knowledge of that weapon.
Yeah,
perfectly fine. The problem is the gun, historically is known as the Great Equalizer because you aim it towards something and you squeeze a trigger. Now there are more complexities to a gun like maintenance and what have you. But if someone hands you a rifle, okay, you might not be the best shot in the world, but you'd have a general concept, an idea of how to use it.
But also, it's like, for example, a gun involves accuracy.
Yes, it does. And so it's like,
there's also a notion of like, yeah, unless the guy's point blank, if you're trying to get someone like a couple of feet away from you, like, you know, they might have like that might not be the best choice.
Oh, so I don't piss off anyone about Final Fantasy continuity. Yes, Vincent used a gun in Final Fantasy VII, so yes, one other guy in your team uses a gun. Sorry, I forgot about Vincent. But it's one of those things where there's no explanation for why Vincent gets to use guns, but Yuffie and Tifa and Sid don't use guns. Sid seems like the kind of dude who'd pull out a shotgun and just shoot someone in the face. That just seems like something Sid would do. No, he's running around with a spear for some reason.
Yeah, it's a compensate for something.
It's just my thing. It's like, I'm fine with a one-off excuse, like, just blast them. Or it's just like, oh, they absorb energy. Our energy weapons are useless, and until we can, we don't have a bunch of shotguns lying around, because future, why would we?
Yeah, that's the thing. I think because I've already accepted it. For me, it's like, to me, it's like like old-timey weapons and stuff like that. In RPGs, especially futuristic setting ones, it's like, it's a commonplace for me, so it's like, okay, I'm willing to accept it.
Yeah, I know. It's something you just turn your brain off and accept, but it's just, I don't know, it's just kind of how my mind gets sometimes.
I know, that's all you do. It's like, you're just beautiful minding all of this.
Well, I'm a writer, so I always try to think of the structure of a universe. How do things work, why when certain things happen in certain ways. And, I'm fine if you go and say, oh, it's like playing Civilization, where this country has a bunch of, it's still using swords and spears, when this country has assault rifles.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, I will buy a, Civilization-type world where, jeez, you're getting swarmed on all sides. With that, because, Final Fantasy VI is a good example of that. You have this small mining town in the middle of nowhere, but then you have this, other kingdom where they're working on advanced technology, and another kingdom where they're using Magitech, but they're the only people who have access to it. You can't just go and find materia lying around.
Yeah.
Not materia, Magicite.
Yeah.
You're not gonna find Magicite just lying around somewhere.
Can I just do the Aftershow stream?
Yes, and I'm ranting about RPGs.
He's trying to put logic into role-playing games. Make him stop. My brain can only take so much. I can't. I like that. Your rantings are amusing.
A song that was on Twitter that Jared was referencing.
Yeah, that's the
I
one.
don't know if they've gone back and taken a look at it, but I was, yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, I did a live stream.
Yeah, quite a few, actually. Well, what was our top number,
Like around 8?
Alright.
Yeah, not bad.
And Deb stuck around in the chat and chatted for a while, and I think one of our other people was chatting as well.
Yeah, we had a recurring first-time streamer with us.
So yeah, slowly building the fan base.
Like, we are getting there. Eventually we'll get like 20 subscribers.
Woo!
For now, it's like I'm just listening to the name ramblings of Jared, while I'm seeing Miguel play the game with a guy who sounds like Michael Jackson.
I love the little woos that he does.
I have like a big awful right face because my eye issue.
No, we're playing Rygar. Miguel's playing Rygar. I'm editing audio. And occasionally switching over to the screen when I need to take a break from looking at wave pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, I updated the Scarlet Rhapsody page. I was looking at pack thesis requirements for press. And for YouTubers, you know how many subscribers you need to get to qualify for press if you're a YouTuber?
Billion?
50 grand.
1,000 to be a YouTuber subscriber?
Yeah. Get press for YouTube. Let's say you have a YouTube series and you're just getting it alone on YouTube subscribers. If all you have is a YouTube type thing, you need over 50 grand.
Power up drop, I missed it.
That's the most popular that What's Wrong with Anime ever got. I think I was only up to like maybe maybe several, like 500 or 600 people. I don't think I ever broke the thousands. My views got really high, but I mean, obviously, most people did not subscribe because they hated me. But look, those series deserve that. Okay, some of the series I could have been a little nicer on, but for the most part, the series deserved it.
That told the story about, like, how you got your panels accepted by a con in January.
And their panel submissions is really weird. You know, normally, it's, hey, convention, we're Scarlet Rhapsody. We want to do these panels because we're smart and stuff. Theirs is, here's a list of like 100 panels that we're considering narrowing it down, but what do you have interest in? And what would you like to do? So I go, it's like, okay, you have an anime track, let me just scattershot on anime track because odds are most of these will get canceled. This isn't really an anime heavy con. And basically, I maybe sent out 20 different requests to their sci-fi, comic, and anime track. I would have done games, but games was more board games and card games, not stuff yes, I played D&D, but I haven't played since college, so I don't feel like I'm really... If it's like, hey, let's bitch about 4th edition, I go, never played it.
Oh, I know.
I played 3.5, I played AD&D, a shitload of AD&D, but I never really played 4, so I looked over the 4 guides, I showed it to my little brother, and he kind of was like, this looks simple enough to learn. I'm like, it is simple enough to learn. That was their point with this. Hey, people, learn how to play D&D.
So yeah, into the panel approvals.
So, basically, I sent off to like 20 different things. I was like, okay, I'll be lucky to get 1 or 2 of these. So I got 15 over this 4-day con, and I'm like looking at it going, dear God. And some of these panels I would love to be a part of. I signed up for a comic book panel called Why Do I Keep Coming Back? And it's literally like, the descriptor says, a lot of series will get us angry, but inevitably we have to go back to the series we love. You know, it's something like that. And I literally put it in my description, I'm like, I have rage quitted and re-picked up X-Men so many times during my life that I have lost track as to how many times that has happened. I've also done the same with Green Lantern and a few other series. No, I don't know why I do this, but it would be a fun panel to talk, to discuss this phenomenon with people. So I'm like moderator of that, and I go, what? I mean, okay, yeah, X-Men and Green Lantern fan and Spider-Man fan who's rage quit on those series a couple of times and come back to them on occasion. And I'm like, how do we even run a panel like this? I was expecting I'll be part of the discussion group, but I have no idea how to run this panel. Like, are we all going to tell stories of like, oh man, remember when X-Men got really stupid in the 90s and we quit? Yeah. And then we got back together in the 2000s, like 4 years later? Yeah. That was cool.
The only good period of X-Men was the 80s.
I was rereading some Claremont, so I can sit there and go, yes, this was the only time X-Men was really consistently good.
Yeah.
So I liked the early run of Wolverine and the X-Men, actually. I really liked that comic. I mean, it's still trying to do, I guess. X-Men is getting really stupid right now, and I blame a lot of that on Brian Michael Bendis. He's more or less leading the charge with the main direction of the story, and I'm not liking where it's going, so I'm like, oh, F this. I could read Captain America, Black Captain America. So I can read that. I can read Falcon America, stuff like that, and just actually have fun. X-Men used to be... Well, X-Factor is still good, because it's still written by Peter David, and it has nothing to do with the main continuity. I mean, this was one of the recent issues of it, I think it was probably a couple of months ago, featured Polaris, Scarlet Witch, and Danger getting drunk and going to a Renaissance fair.
Really?
Okay, I gotta find this issue.
That was the plot of it. I don't remember the issue number, but the title, because the issue number and the title's under every issue number on the cover, and it's called like, Girls' Day, Girls' Day, Why Not? Or Girls' Day Out, Why Not? It's just one of those fun, like, Claremont-esque, hey, this whole story has nothing to do with the main plot, it's just going to be characters dicking around, but be really funny while doing so, and nothing like seeing the two sisters who never talk to each other try to pretend to be family for a day. In danger of being as weird as she is, just asking super inappropriate questions.
Anyways, so getting back to the process.
Oh, right, yes. So, I got accepted to, like, a Gundam panel, and I'm like, okay, I haven't seen Gundam Age yet, but I could catch up on that over the break, and,
No, you don't want to.
I know, that's what Stan told me. He's like, hey, remember Destiny? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yeah. I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's not right. Damn it. But Origin is like making, if I was a dog, my tail would be like waggling back and forth so fast you wouldn't be able to see it because of Origin. I'm a cat, so you don't get to see that. And then the other TV series, shoot, what's the other one called?
G stuff.
What?
G-Rental?
That one, yeah, the G collections or whatever it's called.
Records.
Yeah, that one actually looks like that can be, it looks pretty at least. At the very least, much like Gundam 00, it looks very pretty, so.
I like 00.
I fell asleep too often while watching that in Japanese, and I'm like, okay, that's a bad sign. If I'm starting to nod off while they're just talking about flag and stuff, I guess this is probably not the series for me.
Yeah,
But I like the character designs, I love the mecha designs. Oh my god, are those mecha designs just sexy else.
It's like, I think it's way too much money into that series. Anyways, I was gonna say, yeah, the only other series you need to worry about right now is Gundam Build Fighters.
Yes, I've been wanting to watch that because someone wants me to cosplay as Build Fighters version Rambaral.
Yes, you should!
Oh, for God's sake, don't encourage her!
Encourages habits.
It's like, we found these like really awkward pictures of him online, and I'm like, can't they just wear the classic Xeon uniform and grow an awesome power stash?
No.
And I'm like, no, you gotta look like the wacky one from Build Fighters. We'll go get you whatever, we'll get you the toy of whatever he uses. I'm like,
The best Rumble Roll right now. Even better than the one from the one from the 1 year war, unfortunately. Anyways,
yes, Build Fighters is kind of on that list of things. I figure if I approach it the same way I approach Discworld or whatever, Marvel
Disc Wars.
that thing. If I approach it the way I approached Marvel Disc Wars, I think I'll be fine.
Yes.
Because it's whatever, it's angelic layer but Gundams. I'm like, okay, if I can just approach it like that, I'll be fine with this. Because I hated like SD Gundam and stuff like that, because it was just retarded. But
Well, I'm gonna say, at least with Build Fighters, there's at least effort put into it at least.
oh, that's good. That's supposed to.
So it's like you don't have to feel like, oh my god, like with Discord you can tell like they didn't give a shit. But with
There's a good variety of like Marvel characters who are making appearances in that at least. That's
yeah.
the point. So there's a good variety. So they at least looked up like the Wikipedia link on popular Marvel characters.
Or they had they had a spare
Rygar,
like third edition of the Marvel Universe, guide.
Encyclopedia or something like that. Yeah.
Oh my god, you made it to level 12. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god,
You're like,
paying attention for a while. I didn't realize you got so far.
I'm kind of done though.
oh my god, are you like insane?
Yeah, I'm kind of done though because it's only
It's
so.
all the
I
other
can only go
panels
so
you
much.
got other than Gundam.
Wait. One or two. There's the 2-player mode on this?
I think it's how it is.
Oh, all things stupid. Never mind.
Anyways, Miguel, you were gonna say something?
I think it's like how it is with arcade when it alternates.
Yeah, that's what Ramses was saying.
Yeah.
And that just disappointed me. In addition, I got into the Clamp panel, which is pretty good. I can talk most old school Clamp. Except for Rig Beta. I've never seen Rig Beta. That's what I've heard. I got accepted to the Hentai panel.
Wow.
That's not bad.
I put like a joke description for like why I should be involved, and then it's like, you're the moderator. I'm like, good. I want that on the Scott Rapsy website. Moderator of the Hentai panel and Arisha.
Like,
That'll do wonders.
the reason why I should host off the hentai panel, I have tapped to like 80 to 90 of these hentais that you described.
I
shouldn't be saying that out loud in the stream. I'm pretty sure someone's gonna use that against me.
Ramses, that's become one of the running jokes on our podcast, is that Ramses is the weird pervert. I mean, hell, our live stream last time I was making furry jokes about you and Fran, so I think we can keep the running joke of Ramses the weirdo going. In good humor, not in like making fun of you and being dicks.
Alright,
I mean,
folks,
just like
I'm gonna cut the game off for now, and I'm gonna switch to a different one that I have on here. I'll leave it to a vote. If whoever's still on the stream, I don't know, I can't tell.
No one's on the stream right now. It's just all three of us.
yeah, we're just sticking around.
But you pick a good game, like if you pick a good game, or if we, or between the three of, or between all of us that are watching, between you. Oh, not watching, but like, for example, you, me, you, Miguel, me, Jared, me, Miss Victoria, me, Miss Rebecca, maybe the baby, maybe the dog. We can all come to a decision.
Well, I got game sides here that I can play.
What game do I want to make you suffer? Gunstar Hero sounds pretty good, but I don't want to make you suffer. You don't have
Gunstar
Alien
Heroes
Soldier.
is not suffering, okay? Gunstar Heroes is fun.
Or I can
You don't have
play,
Alien Soldier?
or I can
I
play
just want to see you
Metroid
die in the
again.
first.
Oh, you just want to put them on games that are hard. That's okay. Let me look over your screen. Let me expand.
Okay, so first screen, he has Mega Man X, he has Mega Man RPG, Super Metroid, Donkey Kong Country, The Legend of Zelda,
Ninja Turtles,
The Past,
maybe
Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. 3, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Legend of Zelda, The Legend of Zelda,
Seen them all. At this point,
The
Link to the Past.
Adventure of Link,
I realize that.
what?
Is Link to the Past. Love seeing some Link to the Past.
The Past, Rygar, which is
Mega Man X.
Gunstar Heroes.
Okay, next screen. Back again. Or over to the left, or
I have these games.
oh, is the other side just like this? These are all your BC games.
These are all my Wii games that I have virtual consoles, yeah.
Okay. Then
Okay,
walk some Mega Man X. We can get people to.
Mega Man 9.
Oh,
The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask.
no. No.
The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time.
I've never seen a Mega Man 9 stream, actually. It'd be kind of fun. Although you were just doing Mega Man, so that'd be kind of
Super Mario 64, the classic.
that'd be a fun
Game
one.
Chameleon.
That just brings me back to like high school. Got it.
Gunstar Heroes.
Kid Chameleon.
Mega Man X. Super Mario RPG, The Legend of the Seven Stars.
I don't even know why I'm looking at the screen. You're getting it like a few seconds before I am. That's
Super Metroid.
just me.
Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country.
Just the first one.
Yeah.
I've never seen. My brother would just like conquer the
Zelda
Zelda
Link to the
so
Past.
times. Donkey Kong Country. My brother played the hell out of that, and we never played any of the sequels.
Sorry.
Super Mario 3. A game that no one can beat.
It's up to you then. I don't really know which one you guys want to keep going with.
Yeah, well, like I said initially, I was talking about Mega Man, and I'm like, nah, that's a little redundant. We've been playing quite a bit of Mega Man. Let's do some Super Mario 64. Let's go to Peach and have a cake.
Let's eat our cake.
Or how about Mario RPG?
Don't make it weird, Ramses.
Or how about some Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars?
I'm cool with that. I mastered the hell out of that game, so yeah.
Well, I'm gonna shut the stream down and then restart it. Oh, I'm gonna need a classic controller. Good thing I have one. No, classic controller. Oh, the battery's about to die too, man. Oh, we have the camera.